Okay, hello everyone. I am going over the professional etiquette um, standards, I guess is what you would call them, for our on-site PPEs. And so for this presentation, I know I'm only talking to a couple students in this class. And so I'm going to break it up into two, and I'm going to try to not make this as long as I normally would, because I think well, both of you are in different situations. One of you is actually physically going on site. The other one is doing more of a virtual PPE. And so things are a little bit different there. But anyways, I'll get started and try to address things for both of you as I go along. Okay. Maybe here we go. Okay, so first I'm going to just kind of talk about the purpose of this presentation, what etiquette is, and then go over some specific expectations and guidelines that we have for you for your PPE. Okay. All right, so the purpose really is just to appropriately represent the College of St. Scholastica and, of course, our program and our department, the Department of Health Informatics and Information Management. And we just really want to make sure that, you know, you're always portraying that professional image and that you're displaying the best etiquette and presenting yourself in the most business-like professional way that you can, okay? All right, and so definition of etiquette, I probably don't need to go very into depth with this, but really it's just kind of like a code of conduct for your behavior. And I'm hoping that this lecture will just kind of bring some of those things to the forefront and have you keep them in mind, okay? And a lot of times, you know, your site mentor is expecting you to act professional, but they're not going to come right out and tell you that, right? So the rules are, as it says there, the rules are rarely spelled out for interns, and so we're just gonna try to give you some guidance here and helping you out. All right. So one of the probably the most important things when you're at a PPE site is to make sure that you're following the chain of command. Okay. Try to understand the reporting structure within the organization or within the department that you're in, and make sure that you don't go around, behind, or over anyone's heads. So if there's something that you need, make sure that you go to your mentor first. Of course, that is unless they've delegated your like oversight to another supervisor, or if they've said to you, if there's anything else you need, please talk to the administrative assistant or whatever it might be. Okay. And then just like in all your communications too. So even through email. All right. If there is something that you need. Obviously, you know, respecting confidentiality and avoiding office drama is important. So uh, make sure that you're not talking about patients or people. This is probably one of the ways that you would get your PPE terminated. And I think obviously you both know that the, you know, confidentiality and privacy of patients is of utmost importance. And I don't doubt that you'll do that, protect their confidentiality. The other thing is to consider employees as well. And so if the manager, your mentor, shares something with you private about an employee or how she's maybe dealing with a disciplinary issue, which is an amazing learning experience, make sure you keep it to yourself, right? And also gossip, making sure that you don't get like wrapped up in office gossip if the conversation turns that way during a break or whatever it might be. Okay. The other thing is don't be upset or feel left out if you're asked to, you know, not join in on certain discussions, or maybe to just kind of sit in the corner, right? Some things are just a more high level, and just be happy that you're there and you get to witness it. Um, and then remember that you're just there to develop, use, and refine your HIM knowledge and your competencies, and to work on your project, and not get involved in office politics or any of that drama. Okay. All right. Make sure that you're showing respect for everybody, and especially the support staff. You know, sometimes well, I'll just say this. The lady who I replaced here at the College of St. Scholastica, who used to um, manage out the PPEs, she had a term or an acronym called she said, don't be an ass, which is arrogant student syndrome. Okay. And so I'm not going to explain that, but I think that it relates to this slide, in that we just want to make sure that you're showing respect for everybody, and know that, those support staff, they've obviously been there longer than you. They probably know more than you about what's going on there, and maybe in some other areas. And they can also be really great allies for you when you're trying to like break into the department, and kind of helping you with your goals and getting to where you need to go and all of those kinds of things. So just wanted to mention that. Social skills. So obviously they're super important. Making sure that you're always, smiling at people, greeting people with a hello and a goodbye, and just using basic courtesies when you're at the site. Remember, well, I would tell you that you should treat the internship, the PPE, as if it was one big job interview, okay? Because you're always kind of gonna have the spotlight on you in terms of, how your mentor is setting up your schedule and things. And so she's having you meet with other individuals, and they're going to be reporting back to her or him. Okay. So obviously don't sit down in someone's office until you're invited to do so. Keep your feet off the furniture, hats off, which I don't anticipate you're going to be wearing any hats, but um, and then this is the last bullet here. So in a working lunch meeting, the focus is not on the lunch, right? Make sure that you're always paying attention, and, don't, obviously using um, table manners is really important. Okay. All right. And of course, attendance. I've talked a little bit about this in previous recordings. And so it's just really important that you're there and present. If you are going to be absent for any reason, make sure that you're communicating with your mentor, and also letting Eric or I know as well. Obviously, your promptness signals eagerness, responsibility, and respect for that other person's time and for their role. Really the only reason you should be gone is, any kind of serious illness, or if there's a family emergency or something. And it's all also just really important, when we say attentiveness, that you're always attentive during meetings, and that you're appearing engaged, you're shaking your head, you're nodding, you're smiling, making eye contact, all of those things. So especially, I know Sammy's going to be doing the virtual. So just make sure during those meetings, if you're in a Zoom meeting, that you're paying attention. The other reason is you don't know when they're going to call on you, right? They may say, hey Sammy, what are you learning right now in your classes that might relate to this topic? Okay, so make sure that you're paying attention. And then this will be the last slide for this part of the presentation. We really just want to make sure that you're taking personal phone calls or texting and those kinds of things while you're on breaks. Make sure that you're not looking at social media sites while you're there. I don't know, the two organizations that you're going to. I don't know what their policies are on social media. So it would be wise, especially for Tao, if you're using one of their computers, to not be on social media with that computer, but rather, use your breaks to check social media or your email and those kinds of things. Also, just make sure that you put your phone away, okay, and make sure it's silenced and not buzzing and all those things that might be distracting to those that you are meeting with, okay? And then lastly, we always mention this, it's more so for our undergrad traditional students, just because they're quite a bit younger. But we always tell them to make sure that, what you have on your social media profile is appropriate as well, because they might be checking you out, right? Or you meet with somebody and they want to look into you a little bit more, right? So just make sure that everything is on the up and up, and you have a professional persona across the board. All right, part 2 will be coming shortly. And let's see if I can end this. There we go.